from the News Channel 5 network. This is Score Connect.
Hi, and welcome to Score Connect. I'm Anna-Vija McClain, your host, and we're happy to be bringing to you conversations with Nashville community leaders in business. Score is a national organization of volunteers that helps business owners and entrepreneurs grow by sharing connections and conversations and resources. And Score Connect is happy to be relaunching here on News Channel 5 Plus to do that. Today we'll be having a conversation with Bill McClesky, the founder of Mitech Partners. Bill is active in the Nashville entrepreneurial community. He's also a public speaker and a very avid runner.
Yes, I am.
A very avid runner. All the time, my Strava app is letting me know how active Bill is at running. It's a daily reminder that I need to get off of the couch and go running. So what's your streak up to, your daily run streak?
Today was 138.
138.
138 days in a row, yeah.
Jeez. And that's not 138 like he got up and ran around the block. That's like 138 of like 6-9 miles. Like you're regularly clocking.
I average about 4 to 5 miles.
4 to 5 miles. So like, you know, like a 10K, you know, just like a quick 10K. You're like, it's totally fine.
Well, once you get going, you got momentum. So you gotta keep it moving.
You just got to keep moving. I was like an entrepreneurial.
Exactly.
Yeah, like that's exactly what you do, entrepreneurship. So, I really appreciate you being here today because one of, we'll call it a trend, one of the biggest questions that we get with our Score clients is starting a tech business. And we know that you know all about that. Can you share with us a little bit about what Mitech Partners is?
Yeah, so Mitech Partners, I love to call Mitech the Expedia.com of telecommunications.
Awesome.
So we help businesses nationwide shop for internet, phone, and TV service between 100+ carriers. So any business can come to us, they can shop multiple carriers, they can order the service through us. And when I say telecom, I mean phone service, internet service, and TV service.
Awesome.
And they can order that service through us and get support. Because most businesses don't want to deal with the frustration or the hassle of calling the big cable company or the big phone company, and we try to simplify that to eliminate the frustration.
I think no one wants to deal with that at all. Yeah, right. Regardless of business or individual person, it's very frustrating. So I know that you speak a lot, you volunteer at the Entrepreneur Center, you do all of these things, and I bet you get a ton of questions similar to what our Score clients ask us, which is, I have a really great idea for an app, tech company, fill in the blank, but I'm not technically savvy. So I've got this great idea. How do I turn it into a business? How do you answer that?
So there's one thing that I always say to people who have, you know, everybody has great ideas.
Yes.
And I was once told that, you know, in life we have 2 really amazing ideas. We have to, you know, come to the conclusion is this the second idea, right? Did we already have the first one? But just because we have a great idea and we feel inspired by something, we need to check it out. We need to do a little research and find out, hey, has somebody already implemented this? Is there something out there like this? Can I build on it? Are there some gaps that I need to fill in? And so that's the first thing I usually tell people to do. Even when I had my idea to start my company, you know, I wanted to build a platform where businesses could shop for telecom and not have to pick up the phone to order service. I said, let me research this first. And I found out that no company, even the carriers, hadn't even done it. So that would be step one. But then there's some other things that, you know, entrepreneurs can do to kind of figure out how to navigate this if they don't have the tech background. And one of them is find somebody who's tech savvy, right?
Shocker, find someone who is,
like the cool thing about Nashville is it's a very community-oriented city, right? And that relates to entrepreneurship. So there's resources and organizations in town that we can plug into. There's a ton of events, and we can plug into and do some networking and find out, hey, you know, who's interested in hearing about my idea and possibly collabing with me on this particular idea. There's also some other platforms that entrepreneurs can plug into as well, and they're called no-code platforms.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So the no-code movement, I call it, is really popular right now because most people don't have most people are not, you know, like software engineers, right?
It's not a fast skill to pick up. You don't do that overnight.
Yeah. So in fact, I was on YouTube one time. I call it YouTube University. I was trying to figure out how to code, and I was like, this is intense, right?
Yeah.
But the no-code platforms, one of the most popular ones out there is called Bubble.
Okay.
So the website is bubble.io.
How do they spell bubble?
Well, it's spelled like bubble, the normal
bubble.
word.
It has all the vowels and everything. And they have it cut about it.
BUBBLE.io.
Okay.
So it's not .com, it's .io.
Sure.
And like it's a no-code platform, you know, where you can do cool stuff and drag and drop and all this stuff. But you'd be surprised. I mean, some of the popular platforms that we use every day have some no-code segments in them, right? Google has some no-code applications. MailChimp, which is the email marketing platform, has some no-code stuff. So, I mean, I think, you know, software is really going toward that direction because they realize most people, you know, the audience is there and people want to build something.
Yeah. And so when you mentioned that about Google or MailChimp and thing, I use those things every day, and I don't see that. I don't look at a section of it and say, well, this one was clearly built by someone who doesn't have any coding experience. So they really do provide a seamless user experience if you find the right. That's really cool. So when you're talking about some of these, we're talking specifically about Nashville, but when you're talking about collaborating, right? That means finding groups. That means finding resources. Maybe it means hiring someone. Maybe it means partnering. What are some of these groups in Nashville? Because I know that you are an advisor on the, you know, the FISC board, and then you've also got a very active role in the Entrepreneur Center and in the Entrepreneurs Organization. We talk about EO on this show a lot, you know, like as we get to it. What are some of those groups, and how do they help people looking to start tech companies grow? Because I know that can feel really lonely.
So it is lonely. So there's a ton of groups. Let me just say that, number one. And your best resource is going to be like Google, right? So just go to Google and Google like Nashville, you know, events and industry-wise. But you mentioned the Entrepreneur Center. So at the Entrepreneur Center, there's a ton of resources, and they have a navigator program, right? So if you go to the EC, as we affectionately call it, and you tell them what you're trying to do, they can help you navigate that and make some introductions for you. And that's what happened with me. I went to the EC early on when I started my company, Mitech, and I said, hey, here's what I'm trying to do, and they made some introductions to software engineers. Now, I met with several of them, and we never worked on a project together, but at least they made those introductions. The other thing I would think about, too, is a freelancer, right? Not necessarily hiring somebody, because we may not have the resources to hire somebody or hire a firm, but there may be somebody who just graduated from Nashville Software School or Pivot Technology or one of these, you know, software boot camps, and they know how to code, right? They've been through this program for 6 to 12 months.
And they need that opportunity.
They need the opportunity, they're eager, you know, and they may need the money, right? Or they're looking to, you know, start making revenue with this new skill. And they may not charge a lot. Versus somebody who's been doing it for 5, 10 years, or they built a firm. So freelancing is key. So being able to, you know, connect with the organizations. Another organization in town is, you know, quite frankly, it's the Chamber.
Nashville Chamber of Commerce.
The Nashville Chamber, and then there's other chambers in different pockets of Middle Tennessee. But just opening, you know, like my mom used to say, a closed mouth does not get fed, right? So we got to open our mouth. And we got to say what we're looking for, what we're trying to do, and ask for that introduction. And I think that whether it's a freelancer or a firm or, you know, an organization, we'll find a connection eventually.
So another question that I think comes up a lot, and I hear this as I'm coaching clients at SCORE, is I'm scared to tell somebody what my idea is. So like I can't open my mouth and ask for help or ask for the introduction because somebody's going to steal my idea, and like they might have more resources or more, but you're laughing so hard, right? But I think that this is a real fear that people have. What do you share with these people, especially in your journey to create something so big and totally unknown before you made it?
Well, you know, I think you said it right. It's a real fear, and fear is false evidence appearing real, right? So fear is not real. It's false evidence appearing real. And nobody, from my experience, is really going to take your idea. I don't think that somebody's going to, like, sometimes people come to me and say the same thing, or they say, I want to talk to you, but can you sign this NDA? And I'm like, what? You know,
do you think I have time to do that?
That's the thing. Like, if this is really something you're passionate about, you think it can work, you think you can, you know, go take the long haul with it, then I'm not going to feel like that about it, right?
Right.
And yeah, okay, I could take your idea, but I'm not going to work it like you would. I'm not going to, put the resources behind it, whether that's sweat equity or whatever, for that idea. So I think I try to, explain that to entrepreneurs and say, listen, especially in this town, again, people will help you. People will make the connections. So open your mouth.
Yeah, no, it's really great. I'd like to talk more with Bill about funding tech companies when we come back from the commercial break. Please join us.